I'm Phillip and I'm doing news that isn't and what the media can pass off as news. Okay, media fatigue. Media fatigue is when the media shows every possible outcome, every possible story, every possible side story that it possibly can relate to another story. There are more or less 5 stages to this process. The first one of them being news breaks. News breaks is when the news initially comes out and everybody's freaking out because they don't have any real information, so they report basically anything they can find. This can be complete rumors, stuff spread around by other news stations, or very rarely stuff that's actually true. The next step is issue retractions, where it retracts what it said in the first step, and it starts reporting actual real news. Talk it to death is this is basically media fatigue in its truest form, because they basically just do everything they can. This is also spread out over can't stop talking. The can't stop talking is when it jumps to a lot more scrounging. And then finally, step number 5 is, has the media gone too far? This is basically whenever they review how they've reported it and said, have we reported this quite enough? If the answer is no, then you go back a few steps. The answer is yes, and that's the end of media fatigue for a little while. Okay, product placement. Product placement is probably familiar with all of you. But there are a lot of types of it, and it's not just in commercials, in your internet, sometimes it's just in the show. This can be faked, or news can be faked by simple product placement. Like, something can happen where they're like, oh, this new revolutionary product is out, and it's totally revolutionary. Or someone can say, this happened thanks to this product. So there's a lot more of it than you actually can find. And some of it is simple mentions. Like, this never would have happened if it weren't for this. Okay, so media and democracy. A lot of what people don't consider when they're thinking about the media is that it has a strong effect on democracy and just general government. Now, this is because the media basically gives you an educated vote, and the educated vote is what lets you know about stuff. Like, you wouldn't be able to make a very good vote if you weren't able to see the debates or hear about them doing something weird or awful or something like that. And if the media weren't there, you wouldn't know any of that. You would basically only be able to see, oh, well, I like that guy's hair, I'm going to vote for him. With the media, you can actually know what their policies are, how their debates go, what they're against, what they're for, and such. But also, the effect on just general upkeep of the government is that politicians don't want to get caught doing stuff when they know the media's lurking after their every step. Like, the Watergate scandal would never have happened without the media. Nixon would have never gotten impeached, and nobody probably would have known about it until years later. Maybe not at all, ever. So, yeah, if the media weren't here, a lot of people would be doing a lot more bad stuff. Okay. Special thanks to my mom, my dad, Elias Johnson and Paul Mitchell, who both gave me interviews. Giovanni Gallietto, UNR guy, who I never got the name of. And Uncle John, who isn't my real uncle.